All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here today at the Michigan International Speedway for the Corrigan Oil 200, the final race of the regular season for the NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series. In last night's race at Eldora, we had a pretty good show as Schneider was able to clinch the regular season championship. So for today, just racing for more playoff points, both with a possible stage win in the two stages as well as a race win. And this is Schneider's home track as well. Just won in his home state last night at Eldora, but by mileage, this is his home track. So looking to get the win here as well. Another important race for him on the season. We'll get to watch the battle for the playoffs as well. It is a tie right now between Sheldon Creed and Todd Gilliland for the last spot in the playoffs. So going to have to keep an eye on those guys. Whoever scores more points between the two will get the last spot on points unless we get another new winner this year. Remember, 8 different winners are locked into the playoffs currently. Ross Chastain has the next spot on points locked up. Ross Chastain cannot fall out of the top 10 on points today, so he is locked in even if we do get a new winner. Ashton G, Oni Lassiter, and Jackson Thomas, welcome to the stream. We are going to get things going here today. Of course, Dirt Bristol unfortunately got postponed for both the truck and the cup race till tomorrow. There's no rain expected at all tomorrow or Tuesday in the Bristol, Tennessee area, so they will get those races started on time. Truck Series race will be at noon Eastern Standard Time right here on the channel. We will still live stream that, unfortunately 2 days after the fact that we were supposed to, and also the cup races tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Podcasts will still be going on here tonight, but instead of being in the afternoon at 2 o'clock like we were originally scheduled, we'll have it prime time. Instead, well, I guess not prime time, but we'll have it evening hours. We'll schedule that for 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll talk some NASCAR. We'll talk Dirt Bristol, everything you need to know to get caught up and ready to go for tomorrow's race now. So yeah, that is pretty much the lineup we have for today. Let's get into this race. Qualified 16th. And we'll see who will be the final driver to clinch a playoff spot. Johnny Sauter on the pole once again this season. Brett Moffitt and Matt Crafton both starting at the rear. Moffitt, another one of those drivers in a must-win situation. Austin Hill can still point his way in. He's 34 points back of both Creed and Gilliland as well, so keep an eye on Austin Hill. He has a strong points day. He is a former Michigan winner in the Truck Series. Justin Sozio, Nathan Satan, Black Ace, welcome to the stream. Green flag in the air. We're underway at Michigan for the regular season finale. 20 laps in stage 1, 20 laps in stage 2, 60 in the final stage here tonight. Johnny Sauter leads him into turn 1. Schneider didn't get a good initial start. Sheldon Creed, not the greatest qualifying effort in 15th as well, getting back to the inside of the 99 of Schneider. Ethan, welcome to the stream. Just nudged the back of John Hunter Nemechek down the backstretch. There's just nowhere to go right now.
Careful, still there.
Still 3 wide through the middle of the pack. Crazy restarts are known here at this 2-mile racetrack at Michigan. And look at Schneider using the draft down these long straightaways. Made a couple passes down the front stretch. He's already going for 10th to the inside of Riley Herbst. Spencer Boyd goes wide as well. 3 wide into the corner. Herbst makes a little bit of contact with the right rear of the 99. He's able to get right back around him for the 9th spot. Schneider slides up in front of Spencer. Austin Hill, Schneider beats him to it and gets to the inside of Hill himself. Jordan Anderson on the outside inside the top 10 in 7th place. Side by side for the lead between Ben Rhodes and Johnny Sauter. Rhodes is the only Thor Motorsport truck without a win this season, trying to lock himself into the playoffs here today. Austin Hill giving a big push down the front stretch to get by the 3 truck of Anderson. He is all over the back of the 99 as they go off into turn 1. Engine department all maxed out for today's race for this 99 team at 195 in the aero, 95 on the suspension. Still side by side for 8th place between Austin Hill and Jordan Anderson. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. I still am too. I was actually watching the Formula 1 race, believe it or not. Only the 3rd one I've watched ever from start to finish. It's actually a pretty good race, I'll give it that. I'll give the benefit of the doubt when it is there. It was a pretty good race. I needed to get my fix of racing today with the truck race not going last night, and then the Cup and the truck race not going again today. It's like I need to watch something. Battle for the lead still going on. Johnny Sauter hanging on in front of Todd Gilliland, who, remember, again, tied with Sheldon Creed for the last spot in the playoffs. Gilliland needs a solid day. Creed is up to 9th after starting 15th. He's on the move, trying to get towards the front as well. The top 6 are all under a blanket battling for the lead in the opening laps. Ben Rhodes trying to side draft Todd Gilliland for second. They almost made contact off of turn 2. Again, short stages. But with playoff spots on the line, this is huge. Sheldon Creed just gets around Austin Hill now for 8th. Hill needs to outscore both Creed and Gilliland by 34 points if he wants a shot to make the playoffs as well. Trevor Grimes, welcome to the stream. Already 5 laps in, but still that means 15 laps to go in stage 1. Again, very, very short with the stages here today. And we will be doing a doubleheader as well with the Truck Series, with the second race being at Gateway. We'll actually go immediately after the finish of this race. So yes, a doubleheader Sunday. Gateway being the first playoff race. We'll turn right around and should be a good one. Schneider down to the apron through the trial. We'll try to take a little bit of a shortcut. A lot better with it here at Michigan than Kentucky, I'll tell you that much. For those of you that watched the Kentucky race. Stuart Friesen going for the race lead. Led a lot of laps at Eldora last night, came home with a second place finish. Side by side with Johnny Sauter down the backstretch into turn 3 now. Chastain kind of losing these top 5. Riding up near the wall on the outside. Schneider down to the bottom, trying to get underneath them. Not going to be able to do it there. Back down to the apron goes Schneider. Schneider has a chance to start off rookie season for the Truck Series to win half the races in the regular season. That's if he goes to victory lane today, making it back-to-back wins for the 3rd different time this year. After winning at Eldora, this is his home track. Johnny Sauter back down to the inside of Stuart Friesen, trying to cross him over a lap and a half later. Schneider continuously changing his line down the front stretch. Bristol Dirt 3:30 Eastern. No, not today. They already postponed it.
Careful, still there.
Yeah, they already postponed till tomorrow. I got an alert on the NASCAR app about an hour ago, maybe. Hour and a half ago. Pass for 5th that time through turns 3 and 4. Schneider gets around the 88 of Matt Crafton. Working on the other 99 truck of Ben Rhodes, who was battling for the lead off the initial start. He's going to try to squeeze Schneider. Schneider got a little tight, almost making contact in the center of turns 3 and 4. That was close.
Stay on the bottom.
A lot of side drafting, though. Schneider pulls away from him down the back straightaway, now pulls back up in front of him. Top 3 still going at it for the lead. Friesen trying to pick up that 2nd win of the season. And again, coming off the 2nd place finish in a race where he led about 50 laps last night at Eldora. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Jackson. Gilliland trying to make up ground on the bottom again. The two leaders in front of him of Friesen and Sauter going back to the outside. 9 laps to go in stage 1 this time by Gilliland trying to side draft the 13 truck, but can't quite do it enough. He's got to fall behind him. Schneider's getting a big run on the 38 now after falling behind the 13. Huge draft there, 200 miles an hour into turn 1 there for the 99. Now he goes to the outside. Wanted to go to the bottom, but he actually had to tap the brakes a little more. Cap 24, welcome to the stream. I actually did watch the F1 race, believe it or not. 9 times out of 10 you would ask me, and I'd say nope, I have no interest, but with the races being postponed until tomorrow, I was like, okay, I've got to be able to watch something today, racing oriented, especially with nothing yesterday too. So yeah, I did. It was a good race. Gilliland still failing to make the pass on Johnny Sauter. Schneider gets right around him, and Sauter into turns 1 and 2, clears them both. Gilliland finally going to get around Johnny. No, he can't quite clear him, and again Sauter side drafts him off turn 2, and Schneider's trying to go after the lead. What am I doing? I'm racing right now, that's what I'm doing. Schneider's charging after the race leader. Friesen continuously going to the top. Oh, Schneider had to lift. Got a little tight, drove it in too deep. Gilliland finally clears Sauter for 3rd. Ben Rhodes still back there in 5th. Sure, Sheldon Creed, I believe, is in 6th place back there. He's trying to catch Gilliland. Again, there's a tie for the final spot on points between Gilliland and defending champion, nonetheless, Sheldon Creed. Schneider trying to find grip. Can he get underneath the 52 this time? Friesen gets a run. Schneider just gets to the left rear, enough to side draft down the back straightaway. They're neck and neck as they go off into turn 3. Friesen again to the outside. Slide job to the bottom of the track by the 99 of Schneider. Easily going to slide up in front of Stuart Friesen. And for the first time today, Schneider is going to lead with just 6 laps to go in stage 1. Going to break the draft back down to the bottom, making sure Friesen doesn't get a run off the high side and maybe have a chance to get him into turn 1. I don't think he's going to. Side by side for 3rd again. Sauter back to the inside of Gilliland. Gilliland needs those points more than Sauter. Well, you do have to remember, though, too, I guess, Friesen, Sauter, and Chastain are all within 6 points of each other. They're 2nd through 4th in the regular season standings. And remember, the top 10 get playoff points for the regular season standings. Stuart Friesen comes into this race 4th. Chastain not in the top 5 like Sauter and Friesen are right now, so he might lose a little bit. Gilliland and Sauter continue to go back and forth. That's a heck of a battle for 3rd. They were battling for 2nd at the time when Schneider got to him, and now they're still battling for position as Gilliland gets him right back off turn 4, but can't clear him. They run up the high side by Sauter, and they're side by side down the front stretch again. Meanwhile, up at the front, 4 laps to go in stage 1. The way these first 2 stages are shorter, I don't know for sure if Schneider's going to be able to get to lap traffic. It's going to be close. He might get to the very, very back of the field. We'll wait and see. We got 6 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in here on a Sunday afternoon. Schneider's pulled off to a 3-second lead. There is no looking back since pulling out in front. We know we're going to be having another restart here very soon. Schneider has not won a stage in 3 races. Trying to erase that with winning stage 1 here at Michigan. Just 2 more laps to get that 11th stage win of the year and another playoff point here with the playoffs coming up in the next race. Gets to the back of the lap traffic. Clay Greenfield going to go a lap down. Jason White up ahead, going to go a lap down as well. Still caution free. Hamilton the legend. Hamilton is a legend. How'd he hold off that? I know, he had older tires. I thought he was toast. And he was, but Verstappen went off the track. Passed him a little wide, decided to give up the lead to pass him back versus getting the 5-second penalty and trying to pull away and win by 5 seconds, which I think was the right call, because I don't think with that many laps to go, again, there was only, what, like 4 or 5 laps left when that happened. I don't think he was going to get out to a 5-second lead with Hamilton running like he did. And I think he used up his tires trying to get around Hamilton because he just was not able to keep up with Lewis those last couple laps. And wasn't close enough to get the DRS in the last couple laps of the race. So definitely. Good job on Hamilton's part. He did everything he could and it worked out. Stage 1 in the books. And the stage win goes to Schneider in the 99. Again, 11th stage win of the season. Friesen second, followed by Gilliland, Sauter, Rhodes the top 5, Enfinger, Moffitt, Zane Smith, Chastain, and Herbst the top 10. And Sheldon Creed fell back to 11, 0 stage points for him right there. And Todd Gilliland now is outscoring Sheldon Creed by 8 points going into stage 2. Pit stops for the first time today under the stage break. No adjustments on the 99 truck. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Bristol Dirt has been postponed until tomorrow. Truck race at noon on FS1. Cup race at 4 on Fox. Yes, that is unfortunately true.
Drive safe, be smart, keep your head on straight. Be ready.
And green flag back in the air. Yeah, as far as the F1 race goes, one more thing I'll mention about it. I've only watched 3 F1 races from start to finish. That was the best of the 3 by far. The other 2 races I watched were kind of snooze fest, I'm not gonna lie. So that was definitely good. And I mean, I'm a race fan overall, typically. So I usually try to look at the bright side of things. Even with like NASCAR, when most people would consider a race not being as good, I'd still try to look at the bright side of things. I did with those other 2 races I watched, which is, you know, why I'm not shutting it down completely. Oh, I'm never going to watch it again. No, I'm not going to say that. There's an opportunity today with NASCAR races being postponed. I wanted to watch racing. F1's the only thing on, and I'm just going to watch it. Well, yeah, Verstappen was faster all day. Verstappen wasn't, I don't know, going into the race, Verstappen was noticeably quicker than Hamilton, but I didn't watch practice or anything, but I had heard about it. But like throughout the course of the race, they were honestly pretty even with each other. Schneider already leading the opening lap of stage number 2. 3 and 4 wide through the pack, and now he's going to lead the first 2 laps of the stage, trying to break the draft down the main front stretch. 15 laps to go in stage 2. I'm sure the clean air is definitely helping this 99. Even if Gilliland ends up blowing away in the points here today alone on Sheldon Creed, he has to make sure we don't get a new winner, because otherwise then it won't matter. And Brett Moffitt, I think, has a fast truck, because remember, he started at the rear, and already just over 20 laps into the race, Moffitt is going for 3rd on Gilliland. Friesen closing the gap on Schneider for the lead. He's going to get to the inside off turn 4, takes the air off the left rear corner panel, and Schneider falls off the lead. Here comes Brett Moffitt on the outside to push the 99. And he's going to try to push him to the lead. And does. Well, blessing in disguise right there, and Moffitt is a very fast race truck. Here we go again. Friesen down to the right rear corner panel this time off turn 2. Schneider trying to get away from him down the back straightaway as they go off into 3 side by side. Hard into turn 3 goes Schneider pulling clear. Here comes Moffitt again to the bottom of the 52, trying to get the run. Schneider trying to block both lanes off turn 4. Riley Herbst inside the top 5. He's had back-to-back top 10s at Kentucky and Eldora. Patrick Chatterley, by the way, welcome to the stream. I don't know of a name yet completely. From Pitbox. I like the idea of you trying to come over with the name, though, for sure. Yeah, they'll definitely get the races in tomorrow again. There's no rain expected tomorrow or Tuesday at Bristol, so they'll definitely get it in tomorrow. And Moffitt charging hard again. This time off turn 4, he gets to the inside. From the rear of the field, Moffitt to the lead for GMS. Oh boy, Schneider aggressively side drafting. Look at him trying to pull the air off the 23. And here comes Friesen to help. Schneider hard down into turn 1. Oh, he tried to clear. Moffitt couldn't do it, and Moffitt hangs on. What a battle at the front. Moffitt trying to win to get into the playoffs. He is in a must-win situation. Former champion in the Truck Series. Schneider's just stuck on the top right now with Moffitt down low, but he's doing a great job on the outside. And another push from Friesen, that's going to help. And it helps enough to clear Moffitt once again. Look at the straightaway speed out of this 99 truck. Oh, he overran turns 1 and 2. He's going to get really tight. Up the hill, he's way out of the gas. And in the wall. He was out of the gas for so long right there. And still couldn't keep it off the wall. And Moffitt is back out in front with Gilliland charging hard. He knows if Moffitt goes to victory lane, Gilliland won't make the playoffs. Coincidentally, they're 1-2. Friesen going for third underneath Schneider. Schneider gets the run a little higher lane in turns 3 and 4, going to help him out there. As well as staying in the draft of the 38 truck of Gilliland, who is going for the lead. Only stage 2, but Gilliland trying to get that track position, and he failed to make the pass on Moffitt that time. It allows Schneider to get the run. Barely enough room to the outside. Squeezes past the 38. Dives to the bottom underneath the 23 truck of Moffitt. Sends it in there. What a slide job. Up the track he goes. Gilliland now to the bottom. Takes him 3 wide, and Gilliland's in the lead off 4. What an aggressive move by the 99, and now a push from Stuart Friesen. How did he hold the apron in 3 and 4 to make that move? That was gutsy. And if you couldn't tell, this 99 truck wants to win at his home track today. He's willing to pull off moves like that to do it. And he's got a run now down the back straightaway on Todd Gilliland. He's going to go for the lead again into 3.
Clear high.
Hooking the white line on the bottom. Gilliland all the way near the top. Easily, Schneider's going to take the lead off 4, and Moffitt to the inside for second off turn 4. Trying to side draft the 38 truck. He's going to fall in line behind him to try and block the 52 of Friesen. Great racing here at Michigan today, and already just 8 laps to go in stage 2. Schneider's got the track position again. We know track position matters here at Michigan, but we've seen a lot of passing towards the front. Got a little loose off turn 2 that time. They're still side drafting each other for second, slowing each other up. Moffitt again dives it down deep to the bottom. Friesen in line on the top behind Gilliland. Zane Smith now into the top 5 for the first time today, back in 5th. Moffitt all clear for second place. 7 laps to go, stage 2. Can he run Schneider down to the end of the stage now that he is in second all alone? I don't know. Schneider's got a good long-run truck. He showed that in stage 1, taking the lead with 6 laps to go on the stage. A little sooner this time. Remember, he started 16th, so it took him a little bit longer to get to the front in stage 1 versus restarting in the lead here in stage 2. Excuse me, by the way. I don't know what's going on with my voice right now, but it feels like it's cutting in and out. Yeah, rain at the racetrack, never good. Well, unless it's a road course, so they'll make it sometimes even good racing. Definitely unpredictable racing, I'll tell you that much. Schneider's pulling away, about a 1.5 second lead on Moffitt. Johnny Sauter back to 5th place again. He led a lot of laps in stage 1 after starting on the pole. Sauter does have the most poles this season with 4 of them. The regular season champ Schneider doesn't even have 1. He qualified as high as 2nd at Eldora last night. That's as close as he has been to the pole all season. Trying to get every playoff point again knowing the playoffs start in the next race at Gateway today. 5 laps to go in stage 2. Looking for the 12th stage win of the year. And remember, this team does not have a road course chassis. Second race of the playoffs is at Canadian Tire. I think that deems trouble for this 99 if they don't have a good run at Gateway, even with the excess amount of playoff points that he's got with being the regular season champ and so far having 7 wins this season. Reason trying to close in on Moffitt for 3rd after getting around Gilliland. Gilliland is in prime position to get the last spot on points again as long as we don't get another new winner. But I'll tell you what, Brett Moffitt might be that guy. He is putting on a show today at Michigan. Again, he started at the rear of the field. Had to drop to the back after crashing and qualifying. This checkers the records for his season today if he wants a shot to go for a 2nd Truck Series championship. I should have put Truck Series regular season finale at Michigan on the title. I didn't even think about that till just now. We did clinch the regular season title, so as far as us goes, we're not racing for anything outside of the win itself. Right now, just a little less than 3 laps away from that 2nd green-white checkered flag of the night. Still caution-free as far as incidents go here today, despite the hard racing that we have seen, especially on the restarts. Restart being at the stage end, at least. Again, with no cautions for incident.
I need 2 more. It's all left, man. Keep it going.
Let out of the gas, get down to the bottom, get it, don't let off until, yeah. That is definitely the fastest way to go about telling you Gateway is on. It's not going to be easy. That's the only time the Truck Series go to Gateway, and it's in the playoff opener, so that could definitely bring drama here today, that's for sure. 1 lap to go in stage 2, that time at the line for Schneider. Gilliland is back to 4th. It's 1 spot worse than what he finished back in the last stage. I'm usually pretty good at being able to drive it deep into the corners, get out in the middle and gas it up in the center. It definitely hurts your quarter exit speed for sure. It's really, what do you want? Do you want the straightaway speed, you know, by being able to get back in the gas sooner, or do you want to drive it off deeper? And really, it's just up to the driving style. Usually I drive it in deeper. On the tracks with the longer straightaways, usually you would like to back the corners up a little bit more, but not always necessary. Especially if you're in the draft down the straightaways, it'll help even more. Schneider wins stage 2, sweeping the stages today at Michigan. 12th stage win of the season. And your top 10 looks like this. Moffitt 2nd, Friesen 3rd, Gilliland 4th, Sauter rounds out the top 5. Zane Smith 6th, Riley Herbst falls back to 7th, Chastain 8th, Sheldon Creed back up to 9th. Joe Nemechek rounds out the top 10. So overall today, 15 stage points for Gilliland to Sheldon Creed's 2. That means going into the final stage, Gilliland is 13 points ahead of Creed for the final spot on points for the playoffs, as long as, again, we don't get a new winner. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel, no adjustments for the 99. so much wide open throttle time. Yeah, exactly, especially at Michigan. In the truck series, too, you don't have to back out of the gas as much. It's almost flat all the way around this racetrack. Almost, not quite, though. Schneider wins the race off pit road. Green flag is back in the air at Michigan. Third and final stage underway. 57 laps of racing to go. In the regular season finale, and another great launch through the gears on the restart, on the preferred bottom lane for Schneider. Moffitt, though, does get down to the bottom pretty quickly in front of Gilliland and back up to the top in front of Johnny Sauter on the outside. Moffitt wants to make this man-on-man between him and the 99 here in this final stage today. He's put himself in position to at least give himself a shot to win. Moffitt's probably got the strongest short-run truck versus Schneider having the fastest long-run truck. That is definitely going to be the difference maker here. Again, we haven't had a caution for incident up to this point. Will we see one going forward? Schneider's going to try to break the draft on the main front stretch. On Moffitt, he's doing whatever he can. This 99 team's had a lot of great straightaway speed in this truck over the second half of the season, and with having long straightaways at Michigan, that is definitely going to help him even more here today, as we have seen. Moffitt's just got a fast truck overall right now. On the short run, doesn't matter whether it's in the corner or on the straightaways. Again, look at that. Drove it in deep. Very little was he out of the gas. Just a little burp in the center of the corner with the throttle and back in it all the way. And Moffitt's got a run off turn 4. Again, the drafting down the straightaway, it's so hard to hold on to the lead on these restarts at Michigan. And Moffitt is going to be going down to the bottom, looking for the lead. Schneider cuts him off, hooking the yellow line in the center of the corner, trying to block the 23 truck. He went a little lower than what he wanted, got a little loose, but still holds on around in front. And Moffitt again is going to charge hard into turns 3 and 4, I'd have to assume. Schneider's going to push a little too tight. I mean, in all reality, he didn't move up the track much. Trying to side draft the 23 of Moffitt. Oh, the 52 of him turns the 99. He got into his left rear on corner exit. Schneider was sideways, keeps it off the 23, and gets to the lead down into turn 1. Moffitt again charging hard. Definitely has a lot more grip than the 99 on the short run. And again, Schneider trying to side draft and not let Moffitt clear him and get the clean air for himself. Pulls him back down the straightaways. Is he going to clear him off 4 this time? Yes, he will. And actually, Johnny Sauter gets down to second place. Moffitt blocking Sauter off the top. Schneider side drafts Sauter. He's getting a pull off the 23 as well. Look at the run at 199 miles an hour into turn 1. Schneider's down on the apron. Being very aggressive again, and that's going to lose the momentum, allowing Sauter to get the second. Freezing to the inside for third, but he's not going to be able to clear Schneider like Sauter did. Ooh, Moffitt goes all the way to the outside. Schneider down to the bottom. Sauter really took his line away by pinching him off. Johnny Sauter wants to go for the lead. He won 2 races ago in Kentucky, locking himself into the playoffs. Look at this run down the main straight. Schneider 3 wide for the lead into turn 1, underneath the 13 and the 23. He's sideways, walks up the racetrack, barely keeps it up the 13, and here comes Friesen. Saved by Schneider, and he didn't lose much ground either. Up the middle, 3 wide for second. These guys are driving it hard right now. Schneider again to the bottom as the 52 pushes him. Not in a prime position as he side drafts. And here comes Gilliland back in the mix again. Out of nowhere. The hard battling at the front. Schneider trying to clear the 13 of Sauter. Does. What a crossover by Johnny Sauter. How did he get to the bottom that quick? Right as Schneider pulled up and cleared him. He shot to the inside. Talk about aggression and aggressive driving full display of that here today in Michigan, but this has been a lot of fun because they haven't really made contact with each other outside of bump drafting down the straightaways, but you're going to see that at Michigan. 50 laps to go. We're halfway home. It's like Daytona or Talladega on the restarts here. Moffitt's back to fourth. It's a little shaky behind Friesen in turns 1 and 2. Friesen trying to get around Sauter for second. He's all over his back bumper with a run down the back straightaway. Schneider pulls Johnny Sauter a little bit more. Schneider drove it way too deep into 1 and 2. Yeah, he's definitely going to push tight. Friesen does get to the inside of Sauter, so that didn't allow Sauter to capitalize as much on the 99 through 1 and 2. Well, the truck to his inside. Friesen's going for second place. Looking for redemption after last night's second place run at Eldora. Friesen has not won since the second race of the year at Las Vegas, and that was a strategy win. He hasn't had a win on necessarily speed, but a win's a win, and he is still in the top 4 in points, so he's had a consistent season. Just hasn't been able to get the victory lane in 14 races. Looking not to extend that winless streak today. Moffitt's still back at 4th, just ahead of Zane Smith and Todd Gilliland. Zane Smith, another one of those drivers in a must-win situation if he wants to make the playoffs here today. Schneider's, the last couple times, is overdriven. Both ends of the racetrack, too. He just drives it in too deep. Not necessarily for on-throttle time, just cutting the apex way too sharply in both 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Whatever draft Friesen would have gotten there, he didn't get because Schneider went down towards the bottom a little bit. Hasn't gone to the apron like he did in stage 1. But just enough to go low, break the draft down the main front stretch, and onto the back straightaway now. Almost a second off the lead is Friesen, and it's not close enough to get a draft now. This is the point where Schneider starts to take over in the long runs. We saw it in stage 1 and stage 2. Still no cautions for incident today. Remember at Eldora last night we never had a caution for incident, so it has been since Kentucky in stage 1 since we've actually had a caution for incident. And that was when Schneider and Ben Rhodes got together getting into turn 1. That was Schneider's only DNF of the season as well. They're just outside the pit window. Pit window is going to be about 36 to 38 laps for these trucks at Michigan today. And so far, 2 stops, so still 2 sets of tires left for the 99s. And S, welcome to the stream. And there is the first caution of the race. Might have jinxed it. We were just talking about it. 46 laps to go is the first caution for incident. We're going to set ourselves up for another Michigan restart. Got a lot of drivers at the rear gonna pit. Jason White, Tyler Ankrum, Lassard, Reum, Cobb, Harmon, Angela Ruck gets the free pass. She's pitting. So some varying strategies at the back, but everybody inside the top 23 are gonna stay out of the pits. Thanks for that win on it. The dirt race last night at Eldora. Indeed. Everybody at the top half of the field going to pitch. Schneider's going to conserve those 2 sets of tires. Green flag back in the air and we're on your way. Once again, here at Michigan. 42 laps to go in the final stage. Ran 4 laps under caution. Another great launch. Schneider's really getting through the gears well. It takes about 2 laps from the field to catch right back up to him on these restarts. With everybody on older tires at the front, though, that's only going to help Schneider even more on this restart versus if everybody was on equal fresh tires. I don't think those trucks outside the top 20 that pitted are going to be fast enough on speed to actually get to Schneider, despite the fact that their tires are about 15 laps newer. He might get up to second. Even that might be a stretch. Just it really depends how hard they battle further back again. Gilliland losing spots on the restart, but remember Sheldon Creed is 13 points behind Gilliland going into this final stage, so that means Creed's going to have to finish 13 spots ahead of Todd Gilliland to get the final spot on points. I mean, how about that? The defending series champion in the Truck Series in danger of missing the playoffs on this NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. Who would have thought? 40 laps to go. And unless Gilliland gets into trouble today, I don't see Creed outscoring him by 13 positions. Though there are a lot of trucks on the lead laps, so you never know. So about a half a tank of fuel left, a little over a half tank, 20 laps, and again, 40 to go currently. So everybody does have to pit to the end. And everybody that pitted under that last caution is going to be about 4 to 6 laps short on fuel. So that is a large reason of why the top half of the field didn't even pit there. They're going to keep their track position. Zane Smith up to third, getting around his teammate Moffitt. A lot of the GMS trucks, Creed, Moffitt, Smith, all in must-win situations. I mean, this is insane how poorly GMS has been this season. With two defending champions, or two former champions of Creed and Moffitt on the team. I mean, it's insane how much they've struggled this year. Ankrum as well. All four of them with no wins, all in must-win situations too coming into today. They can't even, except for Creed. Creed had a shot to point his way in. And again, Creed doesn't have the tiebreaker to Gilliland either, so actually he's got to beat him by 14 spots. It goes to average finish. But then again, I guess if Creed outscored him by 13 spots, he might get the average finish anyway. Put a thumbs up on the vid. Yeah, thanks. Everybody hit that like button who is currently watching if you haven't already. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, exactly. Todd Gilliland still has to finish this race. And if we get another new winner, which I've mentioned many times already in this race, and that means both Gilliland and Creed are going to miss out. For Creed's sake, it might be his teammate that knocks him out, because Brett Moffitt has looked really fast, especially since the start of Stage 2 when he had an amazing restart, finishing the back half of the top 10 after starting at the rear in Stage 1. As far as Schneider's plans on when he is going to come to pit road, he's just going to run this fuel tank as far as he possibly can, which he's got about another 16 laps of fuel in the race truck. Even though Michigan is a large enough of a racetrack that if you can build up enough of a lead, you won't have to worry about going a lap down. And he does have 2 sets of tires left, so if he did do that, he could always pit under the caution anyway for an extra set of tires, but he would lose the track position, which we know means a lot at this racetrack. So that's kind of the give or take strategy call. Or yes, he would be on equal tires at the end of the race on the last caution, but he restarts too far back in the field. We saw in Stage 1 he didn't even get to the lead for the first time today until 6 laps to go in the stage despite it going caution free. Curious to see what the playoff standings are going to look like and how many points ahead of the cut line we're going to be. But remember, doing the points myself for the playoffs, due to the game not saving earlier in the season, there are 3 drivers that are going to show not in the playoffs that actually are, like Dustin, Christian Eckes, and Tanner Gray, who I believe would not make the playoffs as it is with the way the game shows, but they do have wins this year, so they will account for spots. I like the race at Michigan in this game. There isn't really a track I dislike with this game. Michigan is definitely fun on the restarts, I'll tell you that much. We have had a lot of fun here on the restarts. It's kind of like that with Fontana too, but I guess Fontana's a little bit better to drive because you're sliding around a bit more, all the bumps. As far as them being both 2-mile tracks, it's a lot wider than Michigan. Well, I wouldn't say a lot wider, but it is wider. Well, with it being my home track, yeah, definitely being here in person a lot to watch races and seeing it on the video game obviously brings some of those memories into it as well. Snyder's built up a 12.5-second lead now on Friesen. Gilliland back up to third, Moffat back to fourth, Sauter rounds out the top 5. Lap traffic anytime soon for the 99 once again. Waiting to see, will this stay green to the finish? If not, we know we're going to get at least one more crazy restart. Haven't alternated through the different camera angles yet today. We'll do that now. We'll do that again also before the end of the race. So we're going to be seeing a lot of different camera angles, various camera angles. Probably about the next dozen laps. Maybe a little bit more. Pit road speed limit is 55 miles an hour at Michigan. And there was no practice before this race, just qualifying. So the green flag stop is made. Snyder definitely has to make sure he doesn't speed. Not a lot of tire fall off, so as far as extremely worn tires go coming into the pit lane, it might not be quite as bad, but still don't want to speed. The road also isn't as difficult here at Michigan as a lot of other racetracks as far as trying to get onto the pits. Remember, we will be changing this paint scheme up when we start the playoffs later today at Gateway as well again. Right now, we're scheduling that start time for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Gateway. Gives me time to mess with the paint schemes a little bit and get those playoff points awarded to the right drivers. All of that. Always get loose on this track in this game. No too much ledge. Yeah, as far as the handling goes, the handling of this racetrack at least is pretty good. I've never saw turn 2 with the cup cars, it gets a little loose at times, but I don't really have that problem with the Xfinity trucks. Career mode obviously can vary too with, you know, for instance, our arrow's at a 95 and not at 100, that will make a difference, especially if it's even lower than that. The only bright side with Dirt Bristol not being ran today is I get to watch my Michigan Wolverines, because otherwise I would have only been watching the race. So we'll get to see if the Michigan Wolverines men's basketball team's going to make it to the Elite 8 to play again on Tuesday. Definitely got a good team. Another 6 laps of fuel left there, Cap. So Again, green flag stops will be coming up very soon. Schneider's got nearly half a track lead on Friesen for second. You know, everybody in that must-win situation is definitely pulling for a caution before the end of this race. Austin Hill, by the way, now is in a must-win situation, too, with Gilliland scoring 15 playoff points. Hill had to beat him by 34 coming into today. Max is 60, but least amount of points he can get in the race for finishing position is 5 because there are only 32 trucks. Hail to the victors, indeed. Really, that's what is that? The Michigan fight song name of the fight song. Well, Jordan Anderson's really dropped. He qualified inside the top 10, and he's had some good runs from time to time this season, but not enough today. His playoff hopes are going to be dashed as he goes a lap down late. Not a lot of wear here in Michigan. Kind of expected that since the repave hasn't been a ton of tire wear. Although last season in the Cup Series doubleheader there, I noticed it was a bit more tire wear than what we usually see. So I think Michigan's slowly starting to get back to its better days, its better form. And they could give it 2 or 3 more years and it will be right back to where it was. Everybody was ripping the top side. It was a really fun 2-mile track there. For the late 2000s, like the very, very early 2010s. I mean, that's the difference, though, between Michigan and, say, like Atlanta, is that they have to repave it sooner in Michigan because they have a lot harsher winters in Atlanta. That's why, or even California, and that's why the surfaces aren't able to get 20 years old at the most. And they slide around a lot, where in Michigan, you know, because of the erosion and everything that goes on in the wintertime, it will never have a chance to get that old. I mean, you get to like 12 to 15 years, and it's about time to repave it because the winters definitely put more cracks in the asphalt.
Getting low on gas, getting low on gas. You're running on fumes out there. You got room, you're clear.
Schneider can go one more lap on fuel. He's going to stay out of the pits this time and stretch it. He's put a lot of trucks a lap down. Great run for Jason White, 13th right now. He'll go a lap down though. Here's Sheldon Creed in 12th. It's not a good enough of a day, especially comparative to the guy he's racing, Todd Gilliland. He'll go a lap down off turn 2, though. He'll get his lap back immediately. The Schneider's going to hit pit road off turn 4 this time. We'll have 21 laps to go when Schneider cycles off the pit lane. We got some other drivers hitting pit road. Schneider going to lock the tires up. 55 miles an hour is the speed limit. Easily gets down in time. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. Well, I guess we don't need a full tank. We'll go 3/4 of a tank. That's enough for an overtime finish as well, if we do have one. And yeah, here we go. No need for any adjustments. Still an extra set of tires if we did get a late race restart. Sticker has been fast in the second half of the season. They're looking for another fast stop. The money stop, perhaps. 13.3. Blistering fast stop.
Okay, get back in there. Let's go.
And he comes out in front of Ross Chastain as well. Remember some of those other trucks that did pit under the caution? They're about 4 to 6 laps short on fuel, so they cannot make it to the end. They got a caution, they might be able to. Schneider's still in the lead, though. Built up enough of one. And he's good now to the finish. 20 laps to go here at Michigan. Johnny Sauter's going to go a lap down. But will we get that caution to bunch the field back up again? Again, we still will be streaming on the channel today. 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the playoff opener for the Truck Series in the career mode at Gateway. And we will be live streaming tonight as well, which I'm just now thinking with the Michigan game being at 5, I think we're going to move that podcast start time back a little bit. Our fantasy podcast. Take you through everything Dirt Bristol. Of course, the race is now tomorrow, but won't have as much time to podcast with it being on a Monday, so we'll podcast that tonight. And we'll move it back to 7:30. That way I can watch my Michigan Wolverines in action for their Sweet 16 game today. So we still got a couple more streams, and I think I might have a surprise one after that podcast tonight, too. Just have to wait and see what it might be. Still a lot of action on the channel, not as much as what we would have had if we would have been able to stream the live commentary / reaction to the Truck and Cup race, but that will just be tomorrow instead of today. Luckily, my weekends at work are Sunday, Monday at this new job. Thankfully, I can watch the races tomorrow. Keep that streak alive and not missing a Cup race in the early winter. My last job, I was at least Talladega. Had to listen / watch most of it at work, and then I caught like the rest listening to it on the way home, and then the last 7 laps I was watching, pulled over on the side of the highway and was watching the rest of the race there, so I didn't miss it. But this job I definitely wouldn't be able to get away with listening to or watching the race on the job, that's for sure. I didn't really like watching when I was on the job. I was listening to it, I'd glance over, or if I ran into a break while the race was on. That also worked. People in Ohio don't say nothing about you being a Michigan fan. Oh, no, they do. They do. See, I actually live closer to Ann Arbor than Columbus. So even though Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is huge, we do live closer to Michigan. We're like at that almost halfway point between the two schools. Like Northwest Ohio, Toledo area, it is split like so down the middle between Michigan and Ohio State fans. Because yes, we're in the state of Ohio, but I live 2 hours north of Columbus and about an hour 20 to an hour 30 minutes south of Ann Arbor. So definitely closer to Ann Arbor. But yeah, for sure, there's definitely some talk back and forth between the two sides.
Careful, still there.
Grandfinger gonna go a lap down. Oh! A little contact off turn 4. Schneider was getting tight right in front of him, didn't lift, and the lap truck of Enfinger kind of stayed in the way. 14 laps to go. No major contact there. Boy, that would have been devastating for Schneider. This big of a lead. Should have never had it. Well, see, that's the thing, though. Because they didn't have the heat races, Jessica Friesen wouldn't have made it anyway. Because she didn't get a chance to race without heat races. Again, they go by owner's points. And because that team never had an entry at all this season, they had 0 owner points. as well as the other 3 teams that didn't make the show. So that's why she didn't make it, as well as Newman. And again, I can't remember who the other driver was in this. But they go by owner's points of qualifying, if there's no qualifying or practice. There's no qualifying. So they go by owner's points. And that's why they have the lineups the way they are for the Cup Series, too, of the races. Or wait a minute, no. Well, I know they go by owner's points for the trucks, but I don't think the Cup Series, I think, was a random draw still, because Ryan Blaney's third, and he's not third in points. I don't know how they did it for the Cup Series. It might have just been a random draw there. But I know they went for owner's points for the Truck Series as far as drivers who didn't. Yeah, maybe she will have another chance at Knoxville for sure. They'll probably have less entries for that because there won't be any Cup guys in that race. So there's definitely a good chance she makes the show there, even if they do end up having new races. "11 laps to go here at Michigan. Stuart Friesen didn't get back up to second. Moffitt to third. Jason White back to fourth. Remember, White and all those other drivers that pitted under the last caution still have to pit to the end of the race. We've seen so many times in Schneider's wins this year. I think Eldora is really the only race that we did not get a caution in the last 15 laps in a race that Schneider's won this season, where we went caution-free as far as incidents at Eldora the whole race. Tyler Rankin going to go a lap down.
Got a car high now. All right, you're clear.
James Smith trying to stay in the lead, lap in 7th. He wants a shot to make the playoffs with the win. He's going to need a caution, 10 to go. Schneider's dominated the final stage of this race. Won the first 2 stages, so he's really dominated total, but he definitely dominated more in the final stage. Here's Jason White. Oh, look at Schneider. Stayed in the gas up the middle. The hole wasn't there originally, and then it opened up at the last second, and Schneider stayed in the throttle. He cleared both Zane Smith and Jason White. Put them both a lap down. Ben Rhodes in 5th, also in a must-win situation, just ahead of Schneider. Still can't get the free pass to get back in the lead lap, and then you're hoping for 2 cautions at that point.
Still there?
4 trucks now in the lead lap.
All clear. Stay at the bottom here. You're all clear on top there.
We mentioned Eldora being in my home state, but the home track here at Michigan International Speedway also going to mean special, and this one just as special as Eldora, if not more, knowing that I have grown up coming to this racetrack. I'm here for 5 Cup Series races in my life.
Stay on the bottom. All right, clear on that.
Significance there for sure. Always love coming here to race at Michigan. Todd Gillen going to go lap down at 4th. 3 trucks on the lead lap. Schneider, at this point, the run does seemingly have the fastest truck on the track. There's 7 laps to go as he's putting more and more trucks a lap down. He's pulling away from Friesen at 2nd. If we got a caution, they'd have to pit to really have a... Everybody that did not pit yet under green is on pit road right now, or is on the process of coming into the pits. So it's the last of the green flag stops. Everybody has cycled through. 6 laps to go at MIS. Still a lot of action to go through today and tomorrow on the channel. The Dirt Bristol weekend, it just means we're extended today, that's all.
Stay high up bucket.
Bring you guys your racing entertainment for the afternoon. Into the nighttime. Extra day to fill out your fantasy lineups as well. For our fantasy league, again, if you are not signed up, you have a chance. Still, you never know, to win that grand prize at the end of the year. Or if you win in the regular season championship for the league as well as the playoff championship. So you get 2 opportunities. So again, you do have a shot. Playoffs haven't obviously started yet. Join the league. Search KRC League on the NASCAR mobile app or website. You can sign up with your email. KRC in all caps. And you have a chance to win 2 tickets to any NASCAR race of your choosing in 2022. I went to Columbus for college, to Michigan for a job, still working. Oh, okay. 4 laps to go. Moffitt just went a lap down that last lap. As far as Stuart Friesen goes, he is still in the lead lap, but he's the next truck ahead of Schneider right now. And Schneider is probably going to catch him if it does go green to the end. Moffitt in the free pass position, hoping for not 1, but 2 cautions. Friesen up near the wall, trying to find whatever speed he can. Schneider has dominated the final stage of both Eldora and Michigan up to this point now. 3 to go at the line. Just kind of looking at the track map just to make sure there isn't anybody that's slow on the racetrack that could bring out a caution. You don't see anything. The regular season champion, looking to finish the regular season even stronger, winning each of the last 2 races. Still no super chat. Oh, yep, we need 1,000 subscribers. Not monetized yet. We got the watch time by far. We've had the watch time for months and months and months, but we need the 1,000 subscriber milestone to get to that mark of having the super chat and being monetized. Friesen going to go lap down into turn 1, so Schneider has lapped the field here at Michigan. I mean, if he was going to pick 2 races to dominate this year, why not the 2 home tracks on the schedule? Really going to get ready to donate. Hey, it's the thought that counts, though. It's the thought that counts. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully someday. Continue to grow the channel in the future. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go here at Michigan. Schneider about to win at his home track. In dominating fashion in the final stage. More momentum. That 10% momentum boost as well to carry over into Gateway, assuming he doesn't crash in turns 3 and 4 here. Shouldn't happen. Checkered flag in the air. Schneider gonna win at his home racetrack here at Michigan. Great job for that 99 team. 8th win of the season in his rookie campaign in the Truck Series with this startup race team. Really looking like a possible candidate for the championship. Probably the championship favorite to this point. But we know things get wild and crazy with that playoff schedule. It all starts at Gateway at a little less than an hour. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard start time for that. And for the fans, just like we did at Eldora, we'll do the Polish victory lap. I'm not going to go all the way around the track here. They unfortunately tore the grandstands down in turn 3. There was like 2 sections of seats in turn 3, kind of like there is right here in turn 1. And they tore those down from the first time I went to Michigan in 2015 to the second time in 2018, so we'll see to them there. anymore. I don't know what year they actually tore them down. So we're not going to go all the way around the track, but we will go salute the fans here. And then with Michigan's victory lane being on the front stretch, we can pull it into victory lane ourselves as well. Another awesome feature with the racetrack. Todd Gilliland clinches the final spot on points for the playoffs over Sheldon Creed. And remember, Ross Chastain clinched on points after Eldora last night, so 8 different winners. 8 drivers locked on points, or on wins, and 2 on points. We'll take you through the drivers that are locked in after we get everything sorted up at the shop as well. And into the winner's circle. Park it. There we go. Only 66 minutes in this race, another fairly quick one with only 1 caution per incident. Schneider dominated, winning both stages and the race. Stuart Friesen for the 2nd straight race finishes 2nd place, still trying to get that 2nd win of the year. Brett Moffitt finishes in 3rd. He was the first driver in today's race as far as the drivers that were in must-win scenarios to make it into the playoffs. A tough break for the defending champion, Brett Moffitt. He is going to miss out on these NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode playoffs. Todd Gilliland finishes in 4th. He locks up the last spot on points today. Ben Rhodes finishes 5th. Also missed out on the playoffs, going winless. The only Thor Motorsport truck did not make the playoffs. Zane Smith misses the playoffs, going winless this year as well. Grant Enfinger has 2 wins on the season, the only other driver with multiple wins, so he's locked in. Sauter won at Kentucky 2 races ago to lock himself in. Joe Nemechek with a great run finishes in 9th. Riley Herbst rounds out the top 10 for the rookie. Also missing the playoffs there for KBM. Ross Chastain, we mentioned, in on points. And Sheldon Creed, there he is. He's the first driver that missed the playoffs on points. Came in tied with Gilliland. So it was going to be whoever scored most between Gilliland and Creed today. And neither, Gilliland had a great day, but Sheldon Creed only scored 2 stage points and finishes outside the top 10 versus Gilliland had 15 stage points and finished 4th. Crafton's locked into the playoffs as well. Gustine is in the playoffs with his win earlier this year. That was at Kansas. Christian Eckes, he won at Richmond, so he's in the playoffs. Tanner Gray won the first Texas race. He's in the playoffs as well. And I think that's everybody, all 10 of them. And nobody DNF'd in today's race. 2nd straight race we've had no DNFs in the Truck Series. There it is. Regular season standings at least through the top 10. I do need to take a picture of this so I can do the points myself, because remember that playoff points are awarded for the top 10. There we go. Moffitt had the fastest lap, 40.043. That's probably in the draft on the restart at some point. Schneider led 80 of the 100 laps today. Unbelievable. After starting 16th. Moffitt started at the rear, finished 3rd. He definitely put up a fight to try and make it into the postseason with one last gasp today at Michigan, but just could not get it done. I guess we already went through who was in the playoffs, so all we got left on this stream is to see what we've got going in the shop, getting ready for the playoff opener at Gateway. We're probably about to get a high package here for clinching the playoffs. Christian Games, welcome to the stream. up over $400,000. I believe we got a sponsorship bonus coming our way with that top 5 as well. Yep. Another almost 30 grand of influx cash coming to the shop. Keegan Schneider advances to the NASCAR Truck Series playoffs. Is Keegan Schneider the favorite to win it all? I think I'd say so. He's got the most wins this year. Won the regular season championship. I think he is the hands-down favorite, though there are definitely some other capable drivers of winning the championship. You are really improving. Keep it up. Congratulations on making the Truck Series playoffs by a couple drivers as well. 3 drivers sent the same tweet. And Friesen tweets at us not once, but twice. Congrats on making it to the playoffs. Doesn't get any easier. Keep working hard. So we're going to compliment all these guys. I don't even think we've gotten a single insult from anybody all season. Somebody said in the chat last night during the Eldora race that I see you have the... Oh, we're not joining Hattori Racing at the end of the season. Anyway, they said that... I see you have the... What? Why is Hattori Racing a 3-star truck team? Oh, that's for... the Xfinity Series, I see. I was going to say, I saw Austin Hill's picture there. I was like, what? Doesn't make any sense. Well, we're not joining their team in the Xfinity Series either. I think we're doing fine ourselves right now. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I want to go 4 top 5s in the next 4 races. The problem is Canadian Tire, because we don't have a road course chassis, and I'm not going to waste money on buying one. We have a lot of playoff points. I do think we can get out of the round of 10. As long as we don't have a too terrible of a run at Canadian Tire. We should get out of the top 10. We just got to make sure at Gateway and Bristol, if we don't win, that we have good runs there, and we could fall back at Canadian Tire. I like to think that I can run well on a road course, but again, we just don't have the equipment for the road courses, and that'll be our first and only test with the Truck Series, at least. 3 top 10s in 4 races. That is definitely doable. I really do think we can do that. It's just a risk, though, trying to get that top 5 at Canadian Tire. I think we can at these other tracks. So I'm going to play it safe for the money's sake of things. Trying to get as much money as we can going into the Xfinity Series. 3 top 10s in 4 races. I really do think we can do that. I just don't think we're going to get that top 5 at Canadian Tire. So yes, on to Gateway for the Car Shield 200, 160 laps there. All right, let's see. Got maxed out to 100, so Truck 1 will be our truck chassis we're going to use for Gateway later today. The short track chassis worked on, so that way we can... Well, we already got this one lined up for Bristol. And get the Speedway chassis ready to go for the time we get to Vegas and we need it again. We only need a Speedway chassis one more time after Gateway. And we do have that Super Speedway chassis ready to go for Talladega as well. We'll have that maxed out. We did not have it maxed out for the season opener at Daytona. We still finished second. Mainly because all that matters is you stay in the draft. But at least we'll have engine power, so that's good. Gonna start the work plan. Yep, gonna choose car 1. All right, that's gonna end the stream. Thanks everybody for tuning here this afternoon. Again, top of the hour, we'll be doing Gateway for a little doubleheader Sunday action to fill in for your lost doubleheader today at Bristol Dirt. Again, those races will be tomorrow. So we will be doing Gateway today, our playoff opener. And again, that will be a lot of fun. I'll get the playoff points and the everything all lined up and ready to go. Again, I have to do the points myself for the Truck Series. So, gonna do that in between the streams. So, I'll see you guys here in about 40 minutes. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Again, like, share, and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. Very close to 800 subs. Hopefully, we can get there by the end of the race weekend.